Today we're gonna look at the most powerful blue commons in Magic the Gathering. Little shout out to the Pauper community, even though some of these cards are banned. Like a Gush, it's a blue 4 generic. It's an instant! And it draws you 2 cards. Doesn't sound exciting, does it? Except you may return 2 islands you control to their owner's hands instead of paying Gush's mana cost. Eat your heart out, Brainstorm, Ponder, and all them other cantrips. Basically, is 0 mana, draw 2 cards. That's better than Thoughtcast. Thoughtcast, you at least have to put like 1 blue mana into that thing. Here, you have to put no mana into this thing. Just return a bunch of islands back to your hand. And it can be any island. It can even be Mystic Sanctuary if you even wanted it to be. It can be Tropical Island, Volcanic Island, whatever you want. All right, good morning to everyone. Liquid Soulfly is like, Brainstorm. Brainstorm or Green Needle? Anyone understand? Anyone know that reference? Okay, we got a blue instant. Draw 3 cards, and then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. This card, by most metrics, not very exciting. Not very exciting at all. Most people don't actually care about this card until you can shuffle your library. So with fetch lands, with like Stoneforge Mystic, with any shuffle effect, frankly, you draw 3 cards. It's basically Ancestral Recall. You got to put 2 cards back. You just put the bad cards back, and then you shuffle them away. All your problems just get shuffled away. If only we had fetch lands for our problems in life. Put our life on top of our deck, and they just disappear. What do we have here? The Monocle Rogue wants to throw Treasure Hunt. I think this is more of a janky card, if anything. Now, this has made a deck a few times in Magic's history of basically nothing in the deck and like Thassa's Oracle. And you just and the deck is like what? 3 Treasure Hunts, 1 Thassa's Oracle, and a bunch of lands. I think that's how this deck works. And you just go like Treasure Hunt into Treasure Hunt into Treasure Hunt. I don't even remember how you're supposed to win the game, because you need like Thassa's Oracle in your hand already, sort of. Anyway, and then you have no deck left, and Thassa's Oracle for the victory. Burning Paper Sun with the super chat. Thanks so much. Upheavals are rare. What's his Windfall? I think Windfall is also... It's not Pauper legal, so it's this don't count. Sorry about that. It's commons. Powerful commons. Title, the title is not tricking anybody. It is as it is. What do we got now? There we go. This is what I'm talking about. We got Captain WoW with some sort of pig-looking dog. Treasure Cruise. That is a spicy meatball. If there's any cruise you want to go on, it's the Treasure Cruise. A blue 7 generic. And they probably didn't make it expensive enough. It's a sorcery with Delve. That is hilarious how powerful Delve is. This thing is 7 generic mana that you can pay with your graveyard. Still not enough. It's basically useless. You might as well consider your Treasure Cruise free. Draw 3 cards. Draw 3 cards. That's basically what it is. You know, I feel sorry for anyone who started getting into Magic the Gathering like around now-ish, or maybe within the last 6 years. You missed a moment to play Ancestral Recall, and it was a hell of a high at the time. Everyone always wonders, oh, I wish I could play in the good old days and play with the busted cards. That card made it feel like you were playing Ancestral Recall in like 2014? Where's the Cons of Tarkir one? 2014. Modern day Magic. It's like the 20th anniversary. Okay, here's Ancestral Recall back. You can have it back. All right, what next do we got here? Accumulated Knowledge. Not a bad one from Gyarism. 1 blue, 1 generic instant. Draw a card. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named Accumulated Knowledge in all graveyards. So including your opponent's graveyard, which made it very tricky in a mirror where you both play Accumulated Knowledge, because no one wants to fire off the first one, because you fire off the first one, the second player is going to get 2 cards out of it. It's a pretty neat card. Also is a pretty cool combo with Intuition. A card that you search your library for 3 cards, reveal them. This was like a way of drawing 3 cards. You play Intuition and then sort of artificially create an Ancestral Recall. For 5 mana! Intuition for 3 intuitions. 2 of them go to your graveyard. And then 2 of them are in your graveyard, so you'll draw 3 cards. Pretty cool stuff. Cosmic... Is Blighted Agent really common? Well, I'll be damned. It's pauper legal. Alright, blue 1 generic, 1/1. Human Rogue, Infect. Blighted Agent is unblockable. This card basically is the face of Infect. It's the face of not turn 2 kills, because you got to put this in play by turn 2, but turn 3 kills. And very consistent turn 3 kills. Pump this guy up, 10 Infect. Where's everybody on the Infect rules? Like, should we increase the amount of Infect you need to kill someone with Infect in Commander? Because you can't really increase it in regular Magic, otherwise it's just regular damage. You never know what's gonna happen. You see that Blighted Agent, you could be dead next turn. You just pray to the gods they don't have that pump spell. Alpha Nerd! Thanks so much for the super chat. Into the Royal. Not a bad utility card. Is this really one of the most powerful? It's flexible, I'll give you that. Bounce any non-land permanent, and if it's kicked, you draw a card. Sort of turns into a Cryptic Command, actually. It's an artificial... It's the closest you're going to get to Cryptic Command. Instead of 4 modes, you get 2. It's half of Cryptic Command. PM with the Delver of Secrets. The weakest card in Legacy, but one of the most powerful cards in Pauper. Actually, I don't even know if that's true anymore. Delver of Secrets is actually getting wiped away by many... This is a Pauper... Yeah, this, of course it's a Commons. Of course it's Pauper League. I got confused by the silver rarity here. At the mean of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. Reveal it. If it was an instant or sorcery, flip it into this 3/2 flying insectile aberration. Go to town near your opponent's life total. I still like playing this in Pauper, though. There's some decks where you gotta get a clock on, and at least it can attack into, like, 1/1 flying creatures. The stupid Squadron Hawks and whatnot. Yeah. Is Rhystic Study really a common? Let's go to the OG. Oh my god! It is! It's a common. This might be like the common of all commons. Incredibly format warping in... Well, I don't know about format warping in Commander, but very, very annoying in Commander. Blue 2 generic enchantment. If an opponent plays a spell, you can draw a card unless that player pays 1. Do you pay the 1? Are you going to pay the 1? Trigger. Trigger Rhystic Study. Rhystic Study trigger. Are you going to pay for Rhystic Study? Is anyone going to pay for Rhystic... Did you pay for Rhystic Study? Do I get to draw a card? I'm just trying to think of all the variations of you asking your opponent if I get to draw cards now. It's rare now they made it. It's rare now, yeah, because it's good. Because Wizards want to make money off of that Rhystic Study. If they reprint it at common today, it would be worthless. They can't do that. Can't be doing that today. Wizards gotta make that money. Gotta fill those boxes with rare Rhystic Studies these days. And now it's like $40. All right, what do we have here? What do we've got next? Spell Pierce by Crimson Wolf. Probably the most versatile 1-mana counter spell in the game. 1 mana, counter anything, basically anything. Sorry, anything but creatures, unless they pay 2, which is a high enough tax effect. Yeah, very, 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 very flexible counter spell. What is this? Just the Wind. Never heard of it. By Retribution. Just the Wind, blue 1 generic instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand and has Madness. What do you guys think? One of the most powerful blue cards of all time? I don't know. I don't know what deck this is put in, so I have no idea. Beanpot with Memory Lapse. Makes me wonder, you know, we're not thinking big enough with the counter spells. Okay, blue 1 generic counter target spell, and if that spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of that player's graveyard. So you just gotta postpone the game for a little bit. This is an excellent Counterspell. It's really good if you're not super deep in blue, because it acts like sort of like a mana leak effect. It's one blue and one generic. But now that we talk about this, let's get to the actual Counterspell. Like, the Counterspell of all Counterspell. No, not that Counterspell. Man, there's so many arts. I'm going to go to the one that's my favorite. Okay, we'll look at the gold-bordered one, but the art is right. Your attack has been rendered harmless. It is, however, quite pretty. I'm so happy this is in Modern. So happy. That was the home for Counterspell. Otherwise, I had no home, except for, like, maybe in Pauper or something like that. Let's look at some neat ones. Frogify. There's actually quite a few of these cards that are very worthy. Yeah, blue 1 generic enchanted creature, loses all abilities, and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. It's effectively like Doomblade. Doesn't get rid of the thing entirely, but it's harmless. It's now a 1/1 nothing. What else do we have here? Muddle the Mixture. This is useful because it's a tutor. Says Tanulis. All right, blue instant. Counter instant or sorcery, which is pretty good by itself. Not bad, but it's got transmute. Blue 1 generic. Discard this card. Search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost as this card. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Play only as a sorcery. So it acts as a tutor for anything that you want. You know, forget vampiric tutor, mystical tutor. All you need is Muddle the Mixture. You got the Muddle. We used to call Memory Lapse the discount time walk. It's a pretty good one. Pretty good. What else do we got here? Did we do days? We didn't do days yet? Alright, let's do days. People are calling for the banning of this card in Legacy. They've been doing it for years now. Because you keep banning stuff from the Delver deck, and then they're getting to a point like, okay, well, shouldn't we just ban days? Because, like, that's, like, one of the hardcore fuelers of that deck. It's not like returning an island to the hand matters very much. A blue 1 generic instant, but forget the casting cost, because you can return an island you control to its owner's hand rather than pay days' mana cost. Counter target spell unless they pay 1. And believe me, in Legacy, you tapping out very often. I mean, you do it almost every turn. Boomerang. The Boomerang, the bounce spell of all bounce spells. Also one of the most hideous pictures, I think, in Magic the Gathering. Alright, blue. I don't even need... What part of this is Boomerang? Does this mean anything? Or is it like a genie going back into its bottle? Blue, instant, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Permanent! Not permanently, permanent, so you can bounce the lands. Most bounce spells, and by most I mean like 99% of them, bounce non-land permanents. This thing goes after anything. So if you got a land drop, you go right back to your hand. This is like a budget time walk, if anything, if you're on the play. Yeah, it doesn't say non-land. Oh, we got trolling here from Larry. I'm not looking up Stormcrow. We all know that's garbage. We all know in our hearts of hearts it's trash. Tantalus with Witness Protection. A new removal spell for blue. Very, very good. Very useful. Blue enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green and white citizen creature token with base power and toughness 1/1 named Legitimate Business Person. Very, very legitimate. Freddie invented Texas Hold'em, right? What? I have no idea where that came from. Huge fan of Texas Hold'em, though. Cosmic Seeds with Pheresis. What is this card? Oh, the Grip of Pheresis. Oh, no. Yeah, the Grip of... There's a Prolong of Pheresis. I think you mean the Grip of Pheresis, which is actually... No, hold on. It's not pauper legal. So it's not a common. Did you mean the other one, then? Prolong to Pheresis. Each opponent gets a poison counter, draw a card. Well, that one is legal. I don't know if it's one of the best commons. But anyway, don't change that dial. We're going to keep looking at more powerful commons in blue in Magic the Gathering. But we got to thank our sponsors right now, FusionGamingOnline.com. Speaking of poison, See, speaking of something toxic, you can get your Phyrexian All Will Be One singles from FusionGamingOnline.com. Not to mention, if you need to upgrade your Pioneer decks with all the new dual lands, the Dark Slick Shores, the Seachrome Coasts, they got them in stock. Go for it. And if you want to support the channel, not only is it best to buy from Fusion Gaming, but it's also best for yourself and for me to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And let them know I sent you. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Get as many powerful blue common cards you want. This is probably not the best use of their rental service because beyond commons, you can get uncommons, rares, and mythics and really rare stuff from them. Rent as much as you want for a on a reoccurring monthly subscription fee. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_EK2. And now back to the wonderful commons. Because who doesn't like commons? Hi, is that one? Holy moly! It's banned in Pauper, which means it's a common. Means that it was legal at one time. 1 blue instant until end of turn whenever a player taps an island for mana. That player adds additional blue mana to his or her mana pool. You go for it. Very, very, very strong card. Very good with like Palincron. Anything that untaps lands just creates infinite mana. Sorry, no, that doesn't make sense. Just Palincron. Anything that enters the battlefield, you can bounce back and untap all your lands, which is literally just 1 card. Wing of Shu. Snap. Oh, I love that one. One of my favorite cards. Oh, a lot of cards called Snap in this game. I want the original art. There we go. That looks like a blue genie. So we got a blue 1 generic. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Untap up to 2 lands. Basically, free creature bounce. That's free real estate. Kerpernerter. Ponder. The little baby brother of Brainstorm. Blue sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. Now, if you don't have any shuffle effects, this is just better than Brainstorm, because Brainstorm can brainstorm lock you out of the game, and it's happened to me a million times, and it's very annoying. Don't like it, but anyway, Ponder. You get the option to shuffle, even if you don't have any shuffle effects in your deck. So if it's all garbage, send it away. If it's, what is it? What do they say on The Simpsons? If it's brown, drink it down. If it's black, send it back. Herbert with the Frantic Search. Oops, I missed some super chats. I'll get back to you guys. Get back to you, Alpha Nerd. Okay, blue, 2 generic, instant, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, untap up to 3 lands. Basically, it's free Faithless Looting. As if 1 mana for Faithless Looting wasn't cheap enough, this one's free. Assuming it resolves. But it probably will. And it's instant speed. Very good for the Reanimator decks. Very good for your Treasure Cruise deck, too. Insane card. Alpha Nerd. Dream Halls. Unsure if it's common. What the hell? This thing's like rare, isn't it? Dream Hall. That is not a common. It's mythic. Come on, Alpha Nerd. Alright, moving on. John with the super chat. Thanks so much. Sigil of Sleep. Pair it with Nekusar for Degeneracy. Let's get Nekusar up here as well. Alright. So, you're telling me Sigil of Sleep, 1 blue, enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to a player, return target creature that player controls to its owner's hand. So this is good with this. We have each player's draw step. That player draws an additional card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar deals 1 damage to that player. Oh my goodness. Oh, so... What is it? Quiet, Siri. Hold on. So, whenever an opponent draws a card... And then, whenever enchanted creature deals damage to a player, return that... Okay, this is an interesting combo. Interesting stuff. Don't know if it's the most powerful of powerful, but thanks for sharing. Nalia with the super chat. Tolarian Terror. New menace of the format of Pauper. More often than not, a 1 mana 5/5. just like how Gurmag Angler used to be. So blue and 6 generic for a 5/5 Serpent. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, which, if you've built your deck correctly, it's gonna happen. I mean, this, as far as I know, this is like the new Delver of Secrets of the Pauper format. It's got Ward too, so good luck killing it, or bouncing it, or doing anything to it. Afterward, a number of treaties on Sea Serpent morphology were swiftly revised. Ha 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 ha. DK Sovereign. Capsized. Needs a reprint so bad. Buyback was amazing. Buyback was probably also broken. Okay, blue, 1 generic. Am I reading this? No, hold on. Yeah, the Tempest version's only $1. I don't think it needs that badly of a reprint. So blue, 1 generic, instant. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. But it's got buyback 3, so if you got that extra mana, you spend 3 while you cast this. 6 mana, keep the Capsize in your hand. Ooh, I love this one. Spellstar Sprite. I think this card is still pretty good even today. This, it needs enough synergy. But even without it, Spellstar Sprite is not bad, even in Modern right now. Blue 1 generic, flash, flying. Enters the battlefield, counter target spell with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of fairies you control. We have Cloud of Fairies. What do this? Enters the battlefield, untap up to 2 lands. Why is this banned? This is banned in Pauper. Why? It just untaps, like, okay, it's a free 1 mana card, but big deal, and it cycles. I'm assuming it was, like, broken maybe with High Tide, but High Tide got banned. High Tide got super banned, so I don't see the point of, like, caging up Cloud of Fairies. Any lands? So what? It's gonna be your lands, right? Usually. I don't understand this banning in Pauper. It makes no sense to me. Like, I would play the card, sure. Maybe it gives you a little bit of an edge with Spellstarter Sprite, because you pump this thing out, and then you've got like 2 fairies in play by turn 2, or even 3. Anyway, it's a bit of a weird one, in my opinion. Bit of a weird one. Cosmic Seeds with Gitaxian Probe. You know, I just noticed no one does the question mark thing anymore. Does anyone remember the question marks I had you people do? Okay, Gitaxian Probe. The Phyrexian Mana Sorcery. Look at target player's hand, draw a card. It's banned in like every format. Any format it's legal in, it's gone. It was a mistake. Look at someone's hand for nothing. That's broken. Because you know the coast is clear, and you just go in for the win. Oh, you have no counterspell? You have no removal spell? Oh, that's great. I regret not playing this in Modern Merfolk, to be honest. I highly regret not testing this. At the time, Scapeshift was a really popular deck, so this card looked sort of bad in that manner, because you don't want to go to 18 life. But who cares? Like, the matchup was good anyway. You could also look to see if they even had the combo in hand. Just ignore it. Wing of Shu. Shore up. Little bit of an instant. Hexproof goes far. Ah, yes, a blue instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1. Gains hexproof until end of turn, and you get to untap it. Super combat trick. They don't see it coming, and they don't like it when it's coming. Poxy. Deep analysis. Deep. We're going deep here. Don't go too deep, though. And be gentle. Be gentle when you're going the deep analysis. Alright, blue 3 generic sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards, flashback, pay a blue, 1 generic, pay 3 life. I wonder who's paying that 3 life. So, this was like, you know what? This is not really that special by today's standards, but back then it was a very, oh, there was like, what can I compare this to? I don't want to call it Ponder or anything, but it was like it was your source of card advantage back then. It was just your source of card advantage. Card advantage sucked back then, so the board was clear. You go deep analysis, you draw 2 cards and try to pull ahead. Or even discard this thing. Wouldn't be too bad. Oh my goodness! Now we're thinking. Careful study. No, we haven't done careful study yet, Gustavo, but we are doing it now. Alright, we did Delver's Secrets, by the way. Blue, sorcery, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards from your hand. Great in Reanimator decks. Great if you need to fill your graveyard with some deep analysis. You gotta carefully study that deep analysis. Study it well. We got Captain WoW with Preordain. Another cantrip. Is there like the top 3 cantrips are like Brainstorm, Preordain, and Ponder? I think so. Blue, sorcery. Scry 2, then draw a card. The holy trinity of blue card draw spells. Good stuff. Spam is good. The cantrip cartel. Serum Visions, Ponder, Preordain, and Brainstorm. So it's a cartel, is it? Serum Visions. We just talked about Deep Anal, and now we go into Semen Visions. Semen Visions. Am I getting demonetized for this video? We'll wait and see. If you guys see ads, then I was all in the clear. Alright, a blue sorcery. Draw a card, then scry 2. Definitely the opposite of Preordain. Much crappier. Much more entertaining picture, though. A lot of memes to be had with this one. We have to lube the analysis. Lube the analysis here. What? What are you, high? Force Spike? If Force Spike was legal in Modern, I don't even think it would see play. That's not to say that this isn't one of the best commons in Magic the Gathering. But I don't think so that it's better than Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is just more versatile. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. Maybe in Pauper this has a slight edge because there's more creatures, I think, in that format than spells. I think maybe. Levy with Arcane Denial. Really? Is that a common? I always thought that was an uncommon. This is legal in Pauper? Blue 1 generic instant. Counter target spell. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep, and then you draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. This card's great! Oh, they reprinted it 1,000,000 times in Commander Legends. What about the first printing? Was it always... I think it was uncommon, but I'm not sure. Oh, no, it was common. It was common the entire time. The entire history. Ideas Unbound. Blue, draw 3 cards. Discard 3 cards at end of turn. Actually, really powerful effect. Very, very, very powerful effect. In the right deck, you want that. You want that to happen. Stranger Candy, Diplomatic Immunity. What do we have here? A blue 1 generic. Enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities, and diplomatic immunity can't be the target of spells or abilities. Can't touch me. I'm in my box. No one bother me when I'm in my box. Yoshu, Network Disruptor is surprisingly good for a 1-drop. One blue, 1/1 flying. Enters a battlefield, tap target permanent. Not bad. What else do we have? Approaching Calamity. Have we talked about Wash Away? Countering a commander for 1 blue is great. I don't even know what this is. 1 blue, instant, cleave for a blue 1 generic. Counter target spell that wasn't cast from its owner's hand. Oh, I see. So if it came from exile or something, you counter for nothing. Or the command zone. That's actually super powerful. But there is one problem. One problem approaching Calamity. It's not a common! It's not a common. So that's that'd be problem. So anyway, disqualified. It be disqualified. Consider great common, actually, Alan. One blue instant. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard, then draw a card. Completely blew away Opt. No, not Opt. Opt? Yeah, I think it was Opt. How do we feel about Slitherblade? Not a bad card. Not... Oops, I called it a Slitherblader. The Slither... It's calling it a Slither Bladder? Slitherblade. A blue 1/2 that can't be blocked. So no be sniping this thing off with like Gut Shot or something. Unblockable. We did Delver already. Everyone's naming Delver. You know, you came 30 minutes late to the show. Or not late. I'm not gonna say you're late, but you know, one of those cards. They've been named before. Gunblade Knight. Thanks so much for the super chat. My favorite divination is Behold the Multiverse. Is a popper card. Blue, 3 generic, instant. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards, but you can foretell it. Does see some play in Pioneer as well. Oh my god, is Stasis a common? I don't think so. I think that was a rare. Oh yeah, super rare. Never was legal. Oops. Oh, that's a great one, Diego. Pieces of the Puzzle. That's a good one. Very good combo card. And it's also good card draw. So a blue 2 generic sorcery. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put up to 2 instant and or sorcery cards from among them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. And if your deck uses the graveyard, it's like drawing 5 cards. So you have to like put 2 of them cards in your hand and dump the rest in your graveyard and you're good to go. Oh, I like that one. Hydroblast. One of my favorites. You like that Swift Spear? You've been terrorizing my whole entire life? Take that Hydroblast! Got him! I only feel safe against Swift Spear in Pauper, no other format. Not Legacy, not Modern, not Pioneer, nothing. Because I can just blast it out of its existence in Pauper with Hydroblast. Blue, instant. Choose one. Counter target spell if it's red. Destroy target permanent if it's red. And Swift Spear, you are a permanent. But no more. And then what do we got? A Hydroblast, and then there's blue. Might as well go blue Elemental Blast. The sister card to Hydroblast. Blue, counter target red spell or destroy target red permanent. Huh? No, it's uncommon here, but the OG is common. It's Pauper legal. It be Pauper legal. I guess this is the sister card. Might as well call this the sister card. Yeah, take that, Blood Moon. Yeah, you're trying to get in Lost in Thought. I don't even know what this card is. Blue 1 generic, an enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be played. Its controller may remove 3 cards in his or her graveyard from the game to ignore this ability until end of turn. So it's like a weird pacifism, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Mole Drifter. Mole Drifter says mix health journey. Blue 4 generic 2. Is this? Yeah, it's a Pauper card. It's a 2/2 flyer, and it's a battlefield. Draw 2 cards. That's value. It's nice value right there. Do I have... Okay. There we go. I should use that sound effect more often. But it's got Evoke. 1 blue, 2 generic, so you can turn it into a divination if you really needed to. Evoke for 3 mana. Get 2 cards. Gavin, rock with the super chat. Thanks so much. Did we do Slippery Bogle? We didn't, actually. This is bending the rules a little bit, but I'll go with it. It's not just a blue card, but it's a 1/1 hexproofer. It's got a blue identity. I'll just put it that way. I don't want to hear excuses, King Ginger. You be here. What is a Coffee and MTG without King Ginger? Ancestral Mask? Isn't that a green card? That's green! Mr. Deadhead is like just trolling me. Twiddle! A card that saw no play for years and now is seeing some play. To the point that like the 30th anniversary edition is actually worth like 10 bucks or so, 30 bucks or something. What does it do, you people ask? It's a blue instant. You can tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. Very useful in the Pioneer Lotus decks. Lotus Field, there we go. Oh, you're gonna be there, Tommy? Are you gonna be at Magic 30? I'll see you in Magic 30. Can't wait to see everybody. All the Philadelphians. Oh, is Mystic Remora common? It is! I could play this in Pauper. 1 blue, cumulative upkeep of 1. It's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a non-creature spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 4. What a great way to, like, stall the game if you really need to. Interesting. Really cool card. Had no idea it was common. A lot of great cards at common. Seraph with Dramatic Reversal. Oh yes, untap all non-land permanents you control. Big commander card. Big commander card to do big janky things. To do the big jank. Who likes putting that on Isochron Scepter? Raise your hand. Happy Masks with freed from the real. Ugh. There we go. Blue 2 generic for an enchant creature. Pay a blue, tap enchanted creature. Pay a blue, untap enchanted creature. You better believe there's got to be some infinite combos with there. Wing of Shu. The super chat. Mirror Shell Crab is funny. But is it powerful? Oh, good God. What is this? Blue, blue, 5 generic for a 5/7. Ward 3. With channel, blue 2 generic, discard Mirror Shell Crab, counter target spell or ability unless its controller pays 3. That's not bad! I didn't even know this card existed. Neat stuff. We did it. We didn't do Hidden Strings. Much like Twiddle. Actually, I think this is the preferred card these days in Pioneer. You can tap or untap target permanent, then you may tap or untap another target permanent. And it's got Cipher. You can Cipher it on your Arboreal Grazer, which is awkward as hell, but sure, it's a legal play. Someone had Christopher B with the Spreading Seas. This is an insane card. This actually is a multi-format all-star in my opinion. And the foil is worth $1 bazillion. A blue 1 generic enchant land. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. That's value. And enchanted land is an island. They don't call it the Blue Stone Rain for nothing. And if you don't have any blue in your deck, well, you're just gonna hate getting flooded out. Unsummon, be gone. Unsummon. Return. Isn't there a better unsummon by today's standards? There's a better one than this. It's like, and if its converted mana cost is like 3 or less or something, you scry. Can't remember. Unsummon being shown up by today's standards. The token yeah, it's a token annihilator. That's true. We did that one. We did that one. Ghostly Flicker. It's the advantage of being here the entire time. You know which cards have not been chosen. Blue 2 generic, instant, exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under your control. And this is just like, the purpose of this is just a big blinking combo card. As much as you can. Okay, Tanulis with the super chat. Thanks so much. Alchemist Retrieval, most versatile bounce. Blue instant, return target non-land permanent to its owner's. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. I don't understand the cleave cost. You may cast this spell for its cleave cost. If you do, remove the... Oh, I see. You remove it. Return target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. But if you pay 2 blue, So you can pay 1 blue, save something of yours. You can pay 2 blue, bounce something of theirs. Vapor Snag is a superior... Well, unless you're bouncing your own thing. I agree, though. Vapor Snag is just like the removal spell of removal spells. It's 1 blue, bounce the creature, and they lose life. It's like blue burn. It's blue burn. Did we look at psychic puppetry? Psychic puppetry. Can power an entire deck. Blue 1 generic. Tap or untap target permanent. Splice onto arcane. I still don't even know how arcane works. Are we like going down like really crappy counter spells now? Ooh, foil. I like that one. That's not crappy counter. That's a good one. Blue 2 generic. You may discard an island card and another card rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Counter target spell. If you do not own Force of Will because it's like $100, you don't want to dish out $100. That's okay. You got foil, and it's good. It's a good card. Okay, it's not bad. Do not underestimate foil, and it's like 30 cents. You want to pay $100 for a Force of Will? You want to pay 30 cents? The choice is yours. We got the Magic Historian here. Ancestral Recall should have been common, like all the other boons from Alpha, so it could make this list. Dark Ritual common, Lightning Bolt common. Let's look at Ancestral Recall. We had Lightning Bolt was common, Giant Growth was common, Healing Salve was common. That was a beating for white, looking back on it. And Dark Ritual was common. Yeah, Ancestral Recall. Super ultra rare. They knew. They knew that card was too good. Oh, I like that one. I like Piracy Charm. Oh, but is it common? It is. It's Pauper legal. I could play this in my Pauper deck today. Blue, target creature gains Island Walk until end of turn. Not bad. And target creature gets +2 +1 until end of turn. That could be a pump for the win. Or it could remove creatures with 1 toughness and target player discards a card. Huge fan. Moth Dust Changeling. I think this is like a meh card. Blue 1/1 Changeling, sure. Can untap any. Sorry. It's like you can crew it to turn it into a flying creature. It's a bit weird. It's Chungus! I plan to buy into a budget merfolk list Nikachu. I was always a mid-range control player, but I think it's time to go fishing. It is time. It is never a bad time to go fishing. Unless it's winter. I don't know. I know people go ice fishing. I've seen some YouTube videos of people going ice fishing, and it sort of looks ridiculous. They set up this big tent. They have like a small TV in their tent, and they have this super technological rod, and it like from my perspective, it looks like it defeats the purpose of fishing. So you just go out in the middle of nowhere to have some super high-end technology thing catch you a fish, and what are you gonna send it back anyway? But seriously, Mystic Sanctuary, that is a land! Now, yeah, Mystic Sanctuary be land. It's colorless. It's not blue. It's blue in spirit, though. Oh, of One Mind. We didn't do that one. Yeah, of One Mind. Jonathan V. A blue 2 generic. Sorcery. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a human creature and a non-human creature. Draw 2 cards. Not bad. Thought cast for the fairy players. Well, I guess any deck that can jam a human and something else in there. Oh, Seraph's Thinking. Merchant Scroll. That's a super powerful card. That thing's unbelievable. Okay, blue 1 generic sorcery. Search your library for a blue instant card. Reveal that card, then put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. It's Pauper legal. I know it looks uncommon here. The Homelands one. There's the OG. That's the Scroll of Scrolls. Oh, Thoughtscour is a pretty good one. Pretty good way of filling the graveyard and being a cantrip at the same time. 1 blue, instant. Target player mills 2 cards, then draws a card. That's a pretty cool picture. I approve. We did days already. DK Sovereign. How about Thoughtcast for the... Is Thoughtcast common? How could we do of One Mind? The Thoughtcast of the non-artifact decks when we should have Thoughtcast itself. So blue 4 generic sorcery, but affinity for artifacts. So hey, Those artifact decks, they'll always have a million of them onto the battlefield. Draw 2 cards. It is pauper legal. Did we do opt? I don't think so. I don't actually think we did opt. We did a lot of opt-like cards. We did the surveilling one. Opt, scry 1, draw a card. What is this one by Limer? The Shadow Rift. The Shadow Rift. Target creature gains shadow until end of turn, draw a card. That is interesting. Never knew that card existed. It's only 1 blue and it's a cantrip. Basically, target creature is unblockable because what are the odds your opponent has a shadow creature come and ambush me? Oh, Rewind is a good one. Very good counter spell. Basically free. Counter target spell, untap up to 4 lands. Cost 4 mana though. Oh, the Mana War. The jellyfish. Here, come here, little jellyfish. Anyone get stung by a jellyfish before? They look harmless, but they sting. Blue 2 generic 2/2 enters the battlefield. Return target creature to its owner's hand. That ability is very powerful. They don't put that on cards very often. Yeah, we did High Tide. We did Treasure Cruise. We did Spellstutter Sprite. Distant Melody is insane in Pauper Elves. Oh god. I have a feeling this is not a blue card. Oh, it is a blue card. It is blue. Blue 3 generic sorcery. Choose a creature type. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. Oh, that is crazy. Got like 10 elves in play. Draw 10 cards. Oh my goodness. How did we miss Impulse? This card is downright, like, it's borderline broken. So blue 1 generic instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. We got Dina with Anticipate. Blue 1 generic instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Basically a crappier Impulse, but Impulse nonetheless. Who has not gotten a card yet today? We got Armageddon. Abjure. The hell is this? Sacrifice a blue permanent counter target spell. Wow. I mean, I guess it's okay. I guess it's strong. I don't really like the cost though. That costs too much for me. Costs too much. JWJ. We'll go with Distortion Strike. It is a cantrip and makes the creature unblockable for 1 blue. Oh, also it pumps them up a little bit. And it has Rebound! Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn, and it has Rebound. Herbert with the super chat. We'll give you this one. Telling Time. Wow, nice picture. Blue 1 generic instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand. Put 1 on top of your library and 1 on the bottom of your library. We got Cordero Raven form. Oh, this card! I thought this card was going to see some play, but you know what? It just ended up being too expensive. So it's exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. And you know what? I think after this card sort of failed, they started to really push this sort of effect. That's why we have like, what is it, Unlicensed Citizen or something? Or Citizen, whatever. Witness Protection. That's what it was. Put things in Witness Protection. 1 of 1 King. Peer Through the Depths is better than Impulse. But is it common? It is common. Peer Through Depths. 1 blue, 1 generic. An arcane instant. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I think that the deal is between this and Impulse. Impulse, I think, is any card. Where's Impulse? Look at the top 4 cards. Put 1 of them. So you can get creatures and stuff. You can get anything. Stranger Candy with Mystical Teachings. That's a combo card. Blue 3 generic. Search your library for an instant card or a card with flash. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I wonder, can you get flash itself? Well, yeah, you can because it's an instant. Just because it has the card on it is called flash. Flashback for a black and 5 generic. Tell me with Portent. That's like the weird Bizarro Land Ponder, right? It's blue. Look at the top 3 cards look at the top 3 cards of target player's library, which can include your opponent's. You then put them back in any order. You may have that player shuffle their library, draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So if you don't need the card immediately, Portent is a great replacement to Ponder. Lockify Sun. Was clock spinning common? I don't know. It was. So for 1 blue instant, buyback of 3, choose a counter on target permanent or suspended card. Remove that counter from that remove that counter from that permanent or card or put another of those counters on it. What the hell? Choose a counter on target permanent. You can remove that. Oh, I see. So if it has suspend, you can you quicken the suspend thing. What is with this horseshoe crab? This does nothing, right? Yeah. You're losing credibility there. You're losing credibility, Mr. Deadhead. Ray of Command from Diego. Blue 3 generic instant. Untap target creature an opponent controls and gain control of it until end of turn. That creature gains haste until end of turn. When you lose control of that creature, tap it. I feel like we're reaching at the bottom of the barrel of the great commons here. Also, why can't prepaid cards do super chat? I don't know. I don't know. That's a YouTube thing. That's not a me thing. I don't care where your money comes from. I will take it from prepaid cards, credit cards, anything. Lat-Nam Legacy? Lat-Nam's Legacy. It is a common. Blue 1 generic. Shuffle a card from your hand into your library. If you do, draw 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. But that is a bizarre card draw spell. I've never heard of this one before. First time. Yeah, Nikachu will just yoink any currency. I don't, I'm not going to be too picky about what kind of money you want to give us. Bay Falcon, better than Stormcrow? Oh, God. The Bay Falcon. Yeah, we didn't look at Stormcrow because I know it's garbage. Attacking does not cause Bay Falcon to tap. So this is a strictly better Stormcrow. Strictly better. We did accumulated knowledge. Now, yeah, experimental augury is better than anticipate. Experimental augury. Blue 1 generic instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Then proliferate. For the people who like proliferate. There's got to be like counter spells that we've had. Was Mana Leak a common? Yeah, it was a common. Okay, so I'm just to be sure. Blue 1 generic counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. Too good for standard, apparently. They won't reprint the damn thing. Did we do frantic research? Oh, we did a research. I can't remember if we did frantic, though. Frantic research. How have I spelled this wrong? Frantic re? Didn't spell frantic wrong. Oh, frantic search is what it was called. I thought it was frantic research too. Draw 2 cards in the discard. Oh, we did do this one. DK Sovereign. Spy Network. Super fun card. I want to say you've super chatted Spy Network before. Oh, maybe it was the other Spy Network. Okay, blue instant. Look at the top. Look at target player's hand. the top card of that player's library and any face-down creatures he or she controls. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, and then put them back in any order. The Flux Channeler. Oops. Blue, 2 generic. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, proliferate, and it's a 2/2 creature. Oh, Pestermite's common? It is! One of the best combo cards in the world! Blue 2 generic, 2/1, flash flying. When Pestermite enters the battlefield, you may tap or untap target permanent. And so if you have any combo card that requires tapping to make a creature, that's infinite creatures right there. Oh, we didn't do otherworldly gaze. That's a big card these days, especially in the dredge decks. Blue instant, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. So it digs for what you want, puts in the graveyard what you need, and you can flash it back all the same all over again. We did do Cloud of Fairies. Oh, was something an uncommon? What was an uncommon? Oh, the Flux Channeler was uncommon. Wow, you guys are really good. Oh, I guess because of this thing over here. All right, this was disqualified. Disqualified. Okay, what's this Aura Flux people talk about? Aura Flux. The hell is this thing? Okay, blue, 2 generic. It's an enchantment. Each other enchantment gains during your upkeep, pay 2 or sack the enchantment. Into the dumpster it goes. Mutagenic might be good with counters now. Maybe. Yeah, David Bowie. Disqualified! Energy Flux is the same for artifacts, but is it common? It is not common. Gotta be common. Silk Bind Fairy? Such thing I did not know exists. We got a hybrid of Azorius, 2 generic for 1/3 flyer with pay 1 and a hybrid and Azorius hybrid untap tap target creature. Alrighty then. How about Jace's Erasure? Oh, maybe okay. Jace's Erase, like a mill card. Blue 1 generic. Whenever you draw a card, you may have target player put the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Draw your deck, make them deck themselves. Go deck yourself. Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. Hey, why don't you go deck yourself? Get out of here. Go deck yourself, buddy. What a way of swearing in MTG without actually swearing. Go deck yourself. I play Jace's Erasure in Pauper and it's fun, says Gavin. The hell is the Brine Elemental? Oh, that thing. Yeah, the Brine Elemental. Blue, 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 4 generic for a 5/4 creature. But if it's turned up from Morph, each opponent skips their next turn. Oh, God. Next untap step. They skip it. Sometimes I like to deck myself. If you know, you know. Yeah, some of us deck ourselves. Borrowing 100 arrows, is that an actual card? This is a little, no, it's 100,000 arrows. So it's a blue 2 generic sorcery. Draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. Draw a card for each tapped creature. Pretty good commander card. So like if someone sends it in with a bunch of like dinky little tokens, you're like, okay, I'll just draw a billion cards here. Kong Ming and Lu Su tricked Wei troops into shooting over 100,000 arrows at them to later use against the Wei at Red Cliffs. Oh, Ninja of the Deep. How do we might have gone through the whole thing? Ninja of the Deep. Ninja of the Deep Hours, of course. Whenever Ninja of the Deep Hours deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. I mean, this card is borderline. I think this card is the reason the Mono Blue Fairies deck is so good. in Pauper. Without the, if you banned this card, the deck would be garbage overnight. Yeah, be right back. I'll bring these 100k arrows later. Wing of Shu again with a super chat. Thanks so much. You can get away with she likes your deck size, but Screeching Sliver could be a win con. What? Screeching Sliver. Okay, we got one blue. All slivers have tap. Target player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Get rid of that deck size. Can we just take the whole mono blue deck and Pauper and paste that deck list into this conversation? They should have. We literally missed some, like Moon Circuit Breaker. Okay, we're gonna end on Moon Circuit Breaker. I'm surprised no one tried to go for that. Like we still didn't even go through all the cards. Or is it Moon Circuit? Sorry, Moon Circuit Hacker. That's what it is. Moon Circuit Hacker. Blue 1 generic 2/1. Deals damage to a player. You can draw a card. If you do, discard a card unless it entered the battlefield this turn, which means through ninjutsu. All right, you hear the music? That's it for Coffee and MTG today, but thank you very much for showing up this morning. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here. Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you very much, everyone who supports the show with the super chats. Anyone who's a member on the channel or a patron on Patreon, I really appreciate it. And because of that, I never miss a morning. But most importantly, we gotta thank everyone who shows up this morning. We gotta thank Dina, Zick, Lucafason, Levy, Gavin. What else we got here? Barrington, Michael Praise, King Ginger, Alfonso, Diego, Spirit Squad, King Ginger, Seraph, PM, Wing of Shu. Without all you guys, I'd have no show. I'd be nothing. I'm worthless without all of you. So as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.